And we are ready to get started here with NCCU head football coach Trei Oliver, coming off of a 41-0 victory over Winston-Salem State. First, congratulations, coach, on the 2-0 start.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you.
As you look back on Saturday's game, what are some of the thoughts about the victory?
I think it was a lot of positives. I thought that we played well for the most part. Offensively, we were able to establish the run, and that's what we had harped on all week long. So we had an outstanding game as far as rushing was concerned. Red zone defense and offense was outstanding as well. We've done pretty good in those areas for the first two games. Defensively, I wasn't pleased with our run defense. We gave up too many yards in the first half, kind of settled down a little bit, made a few adjustments. But I was pleased overall with our defensive performance. A lot of things we got to improve on. Starts first and foremost, myself. I was led the team down. I got a 15-yard penalty. That's the first one of my coaching career. So we have to get that corrected. And I tell my guys, and they know that nobody's worth a 15-yard penalty. And I'm not above the program. So I didn't agree with what was going on with the officiating, but I cannot do that to the team, put us in a situation like that. But overall, I was pleased with our guys. Thought we played hard, and that was a win over a big rival.
Talk about the performance of the ground game, specifically with Khalil and how he led that effort.
Yes, Mookie was on fire, and I thought he ran, got behind his pads. He ran the ball hard. I thought, again, it starts up front with the offensive line. And we had some movement. Those guys were knocking people off the ball. I thought we were very physical up front, and the whole O-line got players of the game. So whenever you have 260 yards, you got to give the big boys a shout out and some love. But again, Mookie, he's just steady. That's who he is. And then I thought Jamari Taylor came in and brought a little bit of juice to it as well. So I was very pleased with our run game.
First shutout for the Eagles in 5 years. So that had to feel pretty good. What did you particularly like about the defense?
I thought the effort was there. We played with some enthusiasm. Guys flew around, and we were getting hats to the ball. I thought their running back was very good. He's one of the better backs that we'll see this year, and he was physical, had good speed. He was outstanding. But we got hats to the ball. I thought that we can improve our tackling, but again, when you get guys flying to the football, it doesn't stand out as much.
CL Brown with the Raleigh News and Observer, and through these two games, I was wondering if there was anything in particular that you saw kind of as the common thread that you feel like you guys are doing well to get off to this start.
When I first got here, we talked about changing the culture, and I was telling somebody the other day. Yesterday, after I left pregame meal, and I left the pregame meal, there wasn't one plate or cup left on the table. All the guys picked the trash up. And when you get guys doing things like that, our team GPA is a 3.0. When guys are doing the right thing off the field, it translates in direct correlation, I think, on the field. But so I cannot put my finger on one thing exactly. They're just doing what they're asked to do on both sides of the ball and the kicking game. So doing what their coaches do, and I think our effort has been there.
With Khalil Baker, 2 interceptions, 2 red zone interceptions. How do you feel like? What do you feel like the steps he's taken, from sophomore year to this year to make him effective?
Really, I think the biggest thing for him is his eye discipline has improved. Once you lock in on your keys and you play the game with your eyes, the game will slow down for you. But if you're trying to see everything and you're looking at the quarterback stay in the backfield, your motion adjustments and fits and all that stuff is going to be out of whack. So, when guys play with eye discipline, the game slows down for them. So when my key does this, I need to do that. Or my key does this, I do that. Now I'll be in position to make plays. I don't care how great of an athlete you are, how fast you are. If you don't read your keys and get going the right way, you will not make plays. And I think that he's helped himself out, put himself in position because of his eye discipline.
Always a pleasure to see you. Appreciate you taking out the time.
My man, good seeing you, JB.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You guys had a pretty stout performance against Winston-Salem State this past weekend, and I know you were you were talking about, not taking them lightly, and it looked like your players, took that advice pretty well. Can you speak on the way they are listening to your instructions this year compared to maybe last year, and how it's helped you guys get off to the start that you're on right now?
Why you say they won't listen to me last year, JB?
Because you guys almost lost that game to Winston-Salem State last year. So
they might have listened to me. I might not have said the right thing, JB.
Okay, good point.
I told you everybody got to improve. So hopefully I'm a little bit better than I was last year as well. But no, to answer your question, we talk about it's about us, and it is not about who we're playing. We must improve every week. Every day at practice, we must improve. We must stack practices on top of each other. We must stack days, weeks on top of each other. So regardless of who we played and what the result was last week or yesterday, we've got to work to be better today. So this week when we play New Hampshire, I expect us to play much better than we did versus North Carolina A&T or Winston-Salem State.
Speaking of New Hampshire, can you give us a scouting report? I mean, for those of us who don't know too much about them, what can we expect out of this week's opponent when you guys travel on the road?
They want to run the ball. They have an outstanding running back. I think he had over 200 yards rushing this past week. They're physical up front. They have big receivers, 6'3", 6'4" receivers on the edge. They're a top 25 team. So we're going to have our work cut out for us. We're excited about the challenge. Coaches come up with a game plan. We'll keep it simple and let our guys play. But it's good. I love playing these non-conference games, man. You kind of get in the habit. You see the same teams every year. But when you get a chance to play out of conference, I think, we have to work. You don't have tendencies and all that other stuff from other people. So, coaches have to work, players have to play. But I'm excited, and I think it's a great matchup.
How excited do you think that'll get your players, knowing they're going up against an opponent that has a number next to their name?
Oh, they're excited. They're excited. They'll be ready for the challenge, man. I think that people underestimate us. And I say it, we have a good football team. We have a talented football team. We still have ways to go, but we continue to keep working and work to get better. Hopefully we'll have a number by our name, JB.
Have you gone up against New Hampshire at all?
Never. I've never been to New Hampshire. I think New York is probably Connecticut, New York, somewhere is probably the furthest north I've been. So like I say, it's all, it's a first for a lot of guys, and it'll be a first for me. So I enjoy some of these road games and, get to see other parts of the country.
What kind of a statement do you feel like you guys can make this weekend? Ranked team and this being a true road game, if you're able to come away with the win.
We're as advertised. I mean, like I said, I think we have a good football team. So, the statement is, we beat a top 25 team. That's what I wanted to be after the game's over with. As far as making statements, we're just going to let our play speak for itself. But they have a good football team, like I said. And, I truly believe that we'll be ready.
And what would you say the identity of this team is? For somebody like myself who's, parachuting in here this week, I haven't covered you guys, but I'm trying to kind of get to what's the heart of making this work right now. Good people in your program is how you win games. I've been around, been on a lot of championship teams, and it starts with good people. Obviously good players, good coaches, good support staff. Everybody in our program is just as important as me, from video, strength and conditioning, sports medicine, equipment. Everybody counts. Everybody matters. So when you get a group of good people together, you can do special things. But when people look at us, I want them to see that we're a much improved team and we're heading in the right direction.
Hey, Coach, one more thing. You talked a little bit about Khalil, specifically about his improvement. But what else can you tell us about Khalil Baker as he's coming up to the podium next? He's
probably one of the most improved off the field as well. I mean, he's grown so much as a young man. It was times that, we had to sit down and have some heart-to-hearts. It was some times that we had to sit down and do extra study hall hours. But now the lights cut on, he understands. And we laugh and joke about it all the time. But, it's just a blessing when you see young men develop and mature like that. So when we talk, if I have my stuff in order off the field, usually it's a direct correlation. If I'm doing the right thing off the field, a lot of good things will happen to me on the field. And I think, he's reaping the benefits and rewards, of that. And I'm just excited to see the growth of him.
Congratulations to the team on the 2-0 start, and to you individually on the success that you've had this season with 2 interceptions and a pass breakup, all coming in the red zone to help, your team keep the opponent off the scoreboard. If you could just open up and talk about the shutout performance this past weekend and what that means to a defensive guy like you.
The shutout, it means a lot to us. It's been the first since 2017. So, we the main thing that we have is to start fast. So with a shutout being like that, it shows the growth that we have. And it just shows like our defense really have come together. We got a lot of young guys. So with all the young guys being able to communicate well and execute, we have a big thing about executing. So it just shows that we've been putting those things together.
What was the message that you've given to the younger guys to help them blend into the defense?
Dominate and do your own assignment, do your job, and believe in your brother next to you that he's gonna do his. That's a big thing that we have. We got to trust it. It's a lot of young guys on the field. We got a couple old heads, but we got to trust each other to make sure that everybody gonna be in the right gap. I'm gonna give you the right call. We're gonna make it happen.
Your first year defensive coordinator, Courtney Cord. What's that been like? How is he?
A lot of energy. He brings a lot of energy and passion to the defense. It translates for us to the field. Whenever we take the field, our message is to dominate. So when we go out there, we always trying to limit the offense to under 100 yards rushing or something like that. We always have common goals for the whole defense. So every time we step out onto the field, we always try to achieve those goals.
The polls came out for top 25 this morning, and your opponent this weekend is ranked 25th in the nation. So what does that mean to you?
Every game is the most important game because the next, in the words of Courtney Cord, So the 25 beside their name, that's good for them. But to us, we still got to play. It's going to be, we're going to have our game plan. We're going to go out there and execute. That's all that we can do. Control what we can control.
From what you've seen on film from New Hampshire, Coach also talked about their big receivers. What do you feel like is the biggest challenge to stopping their passing game and their offense?
With big receivers, we see big receivers all the time. That's something that we'll continue to see and that we'll continue to execute on. We have guys in the back end that we call our DBs the back end. We have guys there that we know can cover. Our first thing is to stop the run. We want them to put the ball in the air so we can make plays. That's something that we can do. Stop the run, make them put the ball in the air. Hopefully we'll come down with it instead of them.
So are you kind of like the quarterback on the back end making each of the play calls?
Yes, so with free safety, we run a lot of check with me. So we'll get a call from the sideline. We'll see the formation, and then our calls are based on that. So my biggest job, that comes with our discipline. So with my biggest job is communicate with the rover. That would be the other safety to see what they're in the boundary, and then we'll know we can run to the field. And I got to communicate to the striker and to the field corner with the mic also making calls to me. So it's a big communication-based defense. So I got to make sure I'm on point so I can make sure all 11 are on point as well.
Why did you choose NCCU?
We had a player here that came from my school, actually, Naki Martin, as well. He had trained from East Forsyth, so he was here at the time. So I was here in Durham a lot, actually. He would let me come up here and stay with him so I get to see the team. And they was one of the schools that stuck with me through the recruiting process. So, and then when I came on my official visit, it just felt like a family, a home, and it's something that built with me over time. That helped me with my decision a lot.
What have you enjoyed the most about being an NCCU Eagle?
Overcoming. So like the past, when I got here, we didn't have the greatest seasons. we had a lot of doubt. It felt like a gray cloud was starting to come over North Carolina Central, and to see it now brighten up and just being able to be a part of that, it gives a good feeling to know where we came from and where we are headed to now.
You know, most college players dream about playing in the NFL one day. You had a chance a couple of weeks ago to play in Bank of America Stadium on an NFL field. What was that experience like for you?
It was a great experience, and especially seeing the crowd in that stadium. You know, we had a good crowd out there, so it gave you the feel like we was really on the NFL field. You know, and this is what the dream is all about, being here. And as you can see on our interception, the whole defense ran toward the end zone like there was a camera down there. Probably can't do that no more, right?
Hey, is there if there's one thing that a lot of people don't know about Khalil Baker, what would you want to tell them about yourself?
I'm a ball hawk. If that ball in the air, I want it. So I will be on the way, I swear.